was an industry built one quarter at a time. The golden age of video arcade games was short-lived, but at its height, those quarters made it a multi-billion-dollar industry. It gave the 80s one of its most recognizable icons and the face of Nintendo. For Bradley Czech, the love of arcade games never really died.
The first game that I got was Asteroids, and I got it when I was 13. I saw an ad in the newspaper in the classifieds, and the game was right down the road from me, and I just thought, this is the coolest thing ever. These games that I enjoy playing, I can actually have in my house. Of course, my parents weren't thrilled about that idea, but I bought it for $60, and I remember I paid for the last $4 of it with quarters, because that's all the money I had, you know, 13 years old. Still have that game to this day.
Though now, he spends more time repairing and restoring the video games from the golden age.
I started collecting here and there, and I guess the more that I collected, the more I realized I need to know how to fix these things. So what I did is I started buying games that were not working. And now it's like that's the way that I prefer to find them, because I can usually get into them for a lower rate since they're not working. And half the fun for me is seeing these things that were stored in somebody's barn and had mice running around in them or something, and seeing them restored back to their original condition and being enjoyed again.
So you go along collecting the cheese. That's basically the premise, and then you get these bones every once in a while that will allow you to turn into a dog and eat the cats.
So when my buddies would say, oh, Tron, wait until you get to that one, I thought, oh yeah, right, okay, they're just exaggerating. Until I actually did my own, and I realized what they were talking about. There's just so many, it's a very complex game to restore. It's not nearly as simple as some of them. I probably will never do another one as long as I live. Actually, I had a friend of mine say, this game looks amazing. Would you do mine? And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do it, no.
Now the public will get to relive those days and learn a little bit more about the video arcade, as more than 80 of Bradley's games will be on display at the Neville Museum through September 2nd. It's a bit of a dream come true for Bradley, and he hopes others will take a moment to play a game of Remember When.
I grew up in that era of playing those games and seeing these new titles come out. And I remember the excitement of going to the arcade and seeing something completely new. It's hard for us to envision now because everything is at our fingertips with the internet and that sort of thing. But back in the day, hearing some of those sounds, that was the first time you were ever hearing something like that, or seeing some of the graphics at that time. I want people to feel when they come here like they've taken a step back in time to the day of the arcades. And I just want them to leave saying, that was awesome.